the Walnut Desk podcast, where we talk about one topic until it's time to stop. I'm Will. Today's topic is IKEA. Ryan, what do you got for me about IKEA?
Let's see. There's so much to talk about. Well, I want to just throw out one statistic that I know about IKEA.
We get stats.
Our buddy Nate Silver over at 538 wrote a little article on the economics of IKEA, and one of the statistics that stuck out to me is that they consume, like, IKEA furniture production consumes 1% of the world's lumber, like the planet's lumber.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Every year, they consume 530 million cubic feet of wood.
And, like, knowing that IKEA furniture is, like, a lot just, like, particle board, like, I feel like it's just, like, a lot of sawdust packed together. I think that's saying a lot. That's really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm looking at your IKEA furniture now. We're in Will's apartment.
Looking around this room right now, there are two pieces of furniture in here. That the desk is the only thing that is not IKEA in the whole room. I'm looking at IKEA rug.
Yep.
IKEA table. IKEA sectional. IKEA bookshelf. Sitting at an IKEA table right now. I mean, IKEA has permeated my life in a very real way.
Yeah, mine too. I think all of the furniture that I've owned that isn't secondhand has either been from IKEA or Target since I was, in college.
Yeah. I would agree. Yeah, secondhand. I think the only thing I don't usually buy there are mattresses.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. I do have a mattress that's not from IKEA.
But that's it.
But I've slept on an IKEA mattress.
Yep.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I have as well. There are different grades of them, though. Have you ever been in and lounged out there? All the different beds, just try them out?
I mean, I have definitely lounged out in IKEA, but I don't think I've really done the mattress. I've mostly couch. I lean toward the couches when I'm lounging.
Just couch lounge?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, IKEA, when you're walking around, I mean, I have lots of thoughts about the way you walk around and, like, how it's laid out, like, very labyrinthine. I always think that, like, it would be hilarious if one day IKEA just had someone dress up as a Minotaur.
How do we know that someone isn't always dressed up as a Minotaur somewhere?
I guess we don't. And that actually might be, now that I think about it, if IKEA's not going to do it, this might be something that we have to take into our own hands. Maybe we go, like, Walnut Desk Mobile, dressed up as a Minotaur.
I think we might have to.
And just see what happens.
This makes me think of Peng Yi-Zhan. Do you know who Peng Yi-Zhan is?
I'm not familiar.
I don't think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Okay. But it's this kid who got in a fight with his mom.
Okay.
Ran away.
Kid. Teenager? Child?
Young. Yeah. Like a preteen, I think.
Okay.
I don't actually know what his age was. I looked at a picture and I'm roughly guessing he's probably a young teenager.
Okay.
He runs away from his mom after a fight, and he lives in IKEA for 6 days before they find him. So he is the IKEA Minotaur. At least he was for those 6 days.
All right. So if you had to live in IKEA for 6 days, how would you navigate not being caught? I mean, you're probably bigger.
Good question.
You're probably bigger than the kid, so it'd be harder for you to, like, stuff yourself in a drawer or hide behind a thing and not be seen. But, like, is there a place you would go first?
I'm trying to think. None of the really, like, vertical cabinet style pieces of furniture they have could hold me.
Right.
And not only could they not hold me, but they would probably break if I stood in them.
Right.
Like, the bottom would break out.
Oh, yeah.
It's not, like you said, it's particle board.
It's particle board. Unless you spring for the expensive stuff there, but when you've got that kind of money, you shouldn't even be going through the doors to IKEA, right? Like, if you're gonna drop $1,200 on a couch, you should probably buy it somewhere else.
You should buy it somewhere else. But I don't know. The problem is, for me, I think I don't know where. This is a bit of a sidetrack. I actually think that IKEA has so consumed, like, my worldview as it relates to furniture that I actually don't really I don't really know what I would do if it...
Where else do you go?
I don't know where else I would go, yeah.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's true for me, too. It's a one-stop shop, and I think that has a lot to do with why it's so massively appealing.
Yeah. But where would we hide?
Where would we hide? First off, I think at nighttime, I think you're safe. I think you're
Yes.
good. You can go wherever you want to. You got free reign. It doesn't seem like that place is equipped with like motion sensors or cameras or anything. So I think it doesn't matter where you go at night. I would probably find the coziest bed.
So the nights are covered.
Yeah.
And the day, you're actually pretty good. Really, the only time that you can't be seen is during closing and during opening.
Right when security's doing rounds to try to make sure there's no one left in there anymore. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it actually probably wouldn't be too difficult.
We should
What do
try
you
it.
think? Yeah, what do you think the consequences would be? This is like, for some reason, why do I think of that right away? But like, it can't be too severe. Like you're just staying in a building after they're closed.
They would assume that you were going to steal, though, right? Like that, if it were me, if I
you
were
were
security, I would assume that you were going to stay there in order to steal something. But what do you steal out of the IKEA floor? Like the showroom?
You take the couch with you. Like you
No.
need to. Yeah, you can't do that.
There's no like really small, super valuable items that you can steal out of IKEA.
Right. Yeah, I bet it's actually very common. I bet it's tried way more often than we're giving it credit for. Like
Yeah.
I bet people try to do that a lot.
I could see myself when I was like 12 or 13 trying really hard to like just test it out.
There's always people there. Mm-hmm. They're like, you go on the 15th or you go on the 1st, like when leases typically are renewed or not renewed, and the place is an absolute madhouse. What else is crazy to me is that even on times when it's not really, really crowded,
Yeah,
the garage seems to be completely full.
that's true.
Like finding
Parking
a
is
parking
always
spot
hell.
is always hell. Because you want to park close,
Of course.
because your stuff is heavy.
Yeah, yeah.
And you end up having to park really far away. And the IKEA that I go to, that I've been to,
Yeah.
just south of, I think it's Palo Alto, puts you out from the checkout on a different floor, facing like a completely different direction than you came in.
Whoa.
So when you come out, you're completely disoriented.
Yeah.
You have to walk like a quarter mile inside of a garage to get back to your car.
Yeah.
And if you have your car, what that makes me think of is trying to stuff furniture into a car that it just isn't going to fit in. Have you ever had that experience where you buy something and you're like, this will fit?
Yes. Yeah. So like fitting the stuff into the car is always a serious problem. That makes me think of this one IKEA trip I went on with roommates, and we went to IKEA to buy like furniture for the whole apartment.
Yeah.
And we took my mom's van, and we like each bought so much shit that when we were taking it out to the car, I didn't think everything was going to fit in the van. And so like I had to do the Tetris
Right.
assembly, and it eventually worked.
Eventually worked. I have a story that ended up working, but should not have worked. I should have been pulled over.
Oh, you should have been pulled over.
Should have been just absolutely chastised by the police for putting so many people at risk.
Okay.
So actually, it was before you and Hannah arrived in California. The blue couch, the little one, wanted to buy something. Just we had a little bit extra seating when we had 4 people in the room, and bought it. And I was like, okay, it's in this box. This box will fit crooked in my Hyundai Elantra. Huge mistake. It didn't. I also thought that I'd be able to take the box off and just stuff the couch itself into the car in some way. So what I did is I took the couch out of the box and tried to put it in the back seat and the front seat, and just try to like rig it. I put the seats down. It wouldn't fit in no possible orientation could I close the windows or the doors.
Okay.
So I now have a couch that I bought that I've taken out of the box. I'm in a parking garage. It's like 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. I decided to go get this couch quickly. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go. I know exactly what I want. I'm going to get it quickly. I'm going to come right home and then I'll eat dinner.
Right.
So I haven't had food since noon.
God, I would be a monster.
I was a monster, trying to get this all rigged up. So my next bright idea was, I'm going to fold this couch in half. I'm going to jam it in the trunk. I'm going to get that free twine, which has been a lifesaver to me on multiple occasions. Get some free twine.
Yeah.
I wedged it into my trunk and tied the outside of the couch, the part that was sticking out, I tied it to one of the car seat anchors in the back seat. And my trunk kept opening and closing and slamming on the thing. Mm-hmm. You have to cross a bridge on the way back to the East Bay from that IKEA, and the bridge has like a pitch to it. It's like uphill, like it's got an arc.
No.
So I'm driving like 25 in the slow lane on this bridge with no shoulder. And I didn't realize how dangerous this scenario was. I can't see behind me because there's a couch.
Right.
Also, said couch could fall out at any moment because of the incline. And I was freaking out. It was a huge mistake. It ended up working out fine. The thing when I went over a speed bump in my parking lot was the closest to falling out that it was on the entire trip. So at the very end, it was hanging by a thread. I finally got it in, and that was just a traumatic IKEA experience. It's about a 40-minute drive that I had that thing in my trunk.
Damn. That sounds extremely stressful.
It was very stressful, especially the not having eaten part.
Yeah. But you didn't want to get the meatballs? You didn't go get the meatballs? Because there's the cafe, which is like a part of the essential part of the IKEA experience.
Yeah.
There you were right there.
I was right there. It was... We didn't know how long it was going to take us to try to get the thing in the trunk.
Yeah.
Up until the point where you try, you assume it fits. So we didn't get the meatballs.
Didn't get the meatballs. That's always a mistake.
I think that is a huge mistake.
You have to get the meatballs if you go to IKEA.
Official stance.
So far, IKEA meatballs, I would say the official Walnut Desk podcast stance would be yes.
Yes to the meatballs.
Yes.
I also say yes to the lingonberry.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the lingonberry?
No.
So the lingonberry is a flavor of juice that they have, much like we have apple and cranberry and raspberry juice.
Yep.
IKEA has the lingonberry. I have never had lingonberry juice anywhere other than IKEA.
Okay.
However, it's most widely commercially grown in the Pacific Northwest.
Really?
So we export all of our lingonberry.
Okay.
To Europe, I guess.
Whoa.
I don't know who the other large demanders of lingonberry are. But we grow them here. They grow in the northern hemisphere. They're like a sweet cranberry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet cranberry. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty. The stuff they have at the cafeteria is, it's lingonberry flavored.
Right. Like
water.
super sugary
Yeah.
water. That sounds tasty, though. I could go for some of that right now.
Pretty good. All this talk about IKEA food.
If they want to sponsor IKEA, if you want to sponsor us, just send us some lingonberry juice. That's all we need.
Just a little.
We'll plug you. We're plugging you.
We're plugging you now. We're plugging you a lot.
So I think this is a good time to have the first of two sections of this podcast where we're going to play a little game.
All right. Let's play a game.
And if you win this game, I'll explain what winning means in a second, but if you win, I'm going to buy you a frozen bag of Swedish meatballs from IKEA. So you're just going to but I'm not going to tell you when it's going to happen. They're just going to show up someday, and then you're going to have you're going to get your winnings. So the game is called IKEA Furniture or Sigur Rós Song.
Nice.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spell out a word. You're going to attempt to pronounce the word.
Okay.
And then you're going to tell me whether it's an IKEA furniture item or it is a Sigur Rós song.
All right. Am I allowed to write these words down as I go, or do I have to hold them in memory?
Hold them in memory.
Okay.
I can repeat them back to you as many times as you want.
Perfect.
We're going to do 6 at a time.
6 at a time.
Okay.
Okay. So I need 3 correct to win my meatballs.
Each time.
All right. Let's get some meatballs.
Round 1. HAFSSOL.
Hafsal. Hafsal sounds like IKEA. I am trying to use some derivation skills that I don't think apply from English to this other language. Half of something. Maybe it's a small couch or a chair. No. I was wrong.
No, it doesn't matter. Number 2.
Oh.
DROPPAR.
Dropar. That sounds like IKEA as well. That sounds like a kitchen tool. Maybe like a pitcher. Something that holds the lingonberry.
Okay. CHOSIGT.
Choice. Choiced. With this game is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I went with IKEA for the first two. I can't think of a home application for choice good. Am I saying it close?
CHOSIGT.
SIGT. Yeah, let's go with. I'm gonna go with Sigur Rós for that one. That's a song.
Okay. So we're halfway. The first one, Half Sol or whatever, you were wrong. That was in fact a Sigur Rós song.
Sigur Rós song. Okay, so it's not a small couch.
It's not a small couch. It is a song. Dropar is in fact an IKEA furniture item.
Okay.
And Chosigd is an IKEA furniture item.
Okay. So I'm 1 for 3.
So you're 1 for 3. So we're going to do 3 more.
All right.
And that'll be the end of round 1.
And I need 2 more for my meatballs.
Damn right.
All right.
VAKA.
Oh, this is... I know this one. This is a Sigur Rós song.
Oh, crap. Okay. That's fine. All right, you get a freebie. It's such a hard game.
You know what's interesting is I don't know a ton of Sigur Rós song titles because it's one of those bands that I just put on and listen to. That one I do know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you're good. So you're 2 and 2, which is 50%.
I'm still there.
You're getting there. Let's do STORMUR.
Stormur. I'm going to go with IKEA. My guess for what it is would be a welcome mat to keep the storm out of your house.
The last one in this series is TIDPUNKT.
TID. Tidunkt?
TIDPUNKT.
Tipunkt? That doesn't... I'm going by intuition, which obviously wasn't good the first time around because I did not get too many right. That one, I can't conjure up an image of an IKEA thing, so I'm going to have to go with Sigur Rós song.
You are incorrect.
Ah.
All right, so Stormer is, in fact, a Sigur Rós song.
Okay. Wow, I'm really bad at this game.
Tidpunkt is, in fact, an IKEA furniture item.
All right.
And what Vaka you knew. So right now you are, what is it? 4 wrong and 2 correct. All right, and so that brings us to the end of round 1 of IKEA furniture or Sigur Rós song.
Sigur Rós song.
And I just want to say that we are fully aware that these 2 languages are not actually the same language. We are also aware that knowing one of them does not allow you to have really any insight into the other language.
No, not at all.
That's what research has told us.
Yeah.
So we're basically just making fun of our own ignorance.
Yes. IKEA. Yeah, I would love to spend time in the kitchen area. Mm-hmm. You know, the meatballs, I've been trying to win them. It doesn't look like I'm going to win them, but I might have to go there to buy them for Ryan.
That's true.
So that would be good. I get to have a little lunch. It's very reasonable. How much? It's like $5.
It's totally reasonable. It is a cheap-ish meal, and it's super filling. I always get the meatballs with like the mashed potatoes or whatever, and then some kind of like there's like a cranberry sauce thing involved.
Mm-hmm. Their
great.
Salad dressing is
maybe
really
that's
good too.
lingonberry. Is that lingonberry?
It must be lingonberry dressing.
I don't know.
That sounds really good.
So this is the first time I'm going to pose this question, and I think we're going to have to answer it a couple times during the course of this podcast. IKEA, yes or no?
Yes. The downside is just the process of standing up off of your IKEA couch and saying, all right, I'm going to IKEA. Mm-hmm. Once you overcome that, you come to terms with the crowd, you come to terms with the terrible parking situation.
Yeah.
And you realize that you're getting an insanely good deal on pretty much any household product you could possibly need.
It's true. It is an insanely good deal.
My vote would be yes. What about you?
I'm not sure. And I think the rest of this podcast, we're going to have to unpack some things about IKEA that we might have to face. So for one, the first problem with saying yes or no for me to IKEA is I don't think I would know any better. I don't think it's like capitalism. I can't get outside of it enough to make a educated decision about how I really feel about it. That's my first instinct.
You feel entrapped by
I just feel like it's all consuming. I can't know, because whether I say yes or no right now, that's not going to change the fact that I'm going to IKEA when I need a new bed.
Yeah. You know, I even was considering when I was buying my dishes for this apartment, I was like, dishes are not a thing that I have to buy at IKEA.
No.
They have dishes everywhere. Dishes are not that expensive. But I happened to be buying all my things at IKEA, so I picked up my dishes there too.
Yeah, yep. And they're fine. You get those like plain, flat, like white or whatever ones, like the super orange. Minimalist.
Yep.
That's another thing that we can talk about is like the style, right? So it's a super minimalist, slightly sort of modern-ish style consistently from top to bottom.
Yep.
How do you feel about it?
I don't mind it, but again, like you said, I don't think that I have been given an opportunity to develop tastes outside of what IKEA has provided for me as far as furniture goes. I think that IKEA is it, take it or leave it.
I would agree. I think the style, and I felt this before, but after I did a little bit of research, I think my gut instinct was like, this style feels fascist to me.
Say more about that. I'm confused.
It feels like the style that would be dictated to you if you were under the rule of some, like, I don't know, Swedish Hitler.
You are apportioned either one blue sectional or one white sectional. You choose, but it's gonna look like this no matter what.
No frills. There's no way.
Frills.
It's like, so, like, it's clean, so you don't really have I don't have an attachment to any of my IKEA furniture. That's emotional. I have no sentimental attachment to anything I ever bought at IKEA.
Nor do I.
And that sort of like modular feel for the furniture, like you can take it or leave it, you can switch it out. You don't really care whether the table comes or goes.
You know, I'm going to amend my statement there.
Okay.
Because I think I do have a bit of an emotional connection to my IKEA furniture. And it's probably because I put it together all myself. Every single piece.
That's true.
Came flat packed. And I had to sort through it, through the mess. But that might be my favorite part.
I was going to say, you don't hate that?
I love it.
You love it.
I love it. It takes a long time, but there's something about the problem-solving aspect and the putting together of a ridiculous sectional where, you know, it can be put together two different ways. You know, the pull-up thing can be on one side or on the other side, and you have to mirror the directions. To me, that is a fun game, a fun challenge. I'm still firm yes on my yes to IKEA.
Okay.
Might actually make me like IKEA more. The fact that I get to take home a little puzzle with me.
I didn't expect you to say that.
You sound completely on the other end of the spectrum. I'd like to hear
so
why.
on the other end of the spectrum.
So it is a nuisance to put together your IKEA furniture.
I hate it. And you know what? Here's the problem. It's not that I'm bad at it. It's not that I've ever had trouble. It just takes so much time and I don't have the patience.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience.
I mean, I hear that. There's definitely been, you know, when you move into a brand new place and you got to build everything. I can relate to the frustration of, I can't believe I have to build another damn chair.
I was just in that situation like not 6-7 months ago.
Okay.
Hannah and I moved into this apartment out here in California. And we buy an entire apartment's worth of IKEA furniture, which like we're going to be paying that off for years.
Yeah.
But so we had an entire apartment's worth of boxes. They delivered it, right?
Ooh. That's, you know what?
And
that's a great feature.
I had to unpack everything from these massive boxes and put it all together, and it took like multiple weekends.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I had to just pace it out and be like, I'm gonna do one. And it's not, you've seen my apartment. We don't have that much furniture.
Right.
It's kind of like bare, but like, it took so long. So no, I hate assembling IKEA furniture so much.
All right.
I wish I could have just like had them do it for me, but you can pay for that, but that's stupid.
I would like to, yes, you can pay for that. Now that you say that, am intrigued I would like to watch the IKEA people put together IKEA furniture and see if they need the directions. Do you think that they have done it so many times that they are the IKEA like grandmasters?
That's a really good question. I have no idea. I feel like it would still be a time-consuming thing, but they might just know certain pieces. There are certain staple pieces of IKEA furniture that they might just know how to put together. Like the Poang chair.
The what?
The Poang chair.
The Poang chair.
Have you seen the Poang chair?
No. Is that the one that's like a kind of butterfly chair kind of thing?
It's got like the little sort of like semi-S-shaped frame.
Oh, yes.
And you sit on it and it kind of bounces back a little bit.
It's like one piece.
Yeah.
It's like legs and
it's the two side pieces and you stick them together with like the chair in the middle, basically. Okay. And then you fasten it that way. Huh. But it's like one of the most popular pieces of IKEA furniture, and they sell 1.5 million of them a year.
Wow. 1.5 million?
1.5 million a year.
That's a lot. And they probably go for, what, $50, $60? Or are they more than that?
I have no idea. It's between $50 and $100, which is relatively cheap for a decent chair.
Right. And the materials aren't very expensive, but I do wonder... And this would be a fascinating job, and I wonder if there are just lots of Swedish engineers out there to design all of this furniture so that it can fit in a box that is pretty much flat, that is put together with like only 4 or 5 different types of screws.
Yep.
To be stored in a warehouse. And you need to engineer everything to be modular. You need to engineer everything to ship in 1, maybe 2 boxes per thing. I wonder if they hire globally or if there's just a large amount of
like
people
an in-house team.
I wonder if like the Swedish equivalent of becoming like a doctor or a lawyer in the United States is becoming a flat pack furniture engineer. I bet they pay very well.
They probably do. And
I have a question for you.
Okay.
My question is, which of the IKEA fastener, screw, dowel, any of the parts that come in the small bag?
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite? Because there is a correct answer to this question.
I think my favorite is the one... I think the best thing that they have is the one where you have you have one piece of wood and another one. You insert... you stick the little...
nub. Right? You screw the screw in...
Yep, you screw the screw in.
Extra sticks out.
You stick it into the other piece.
Yes.
There's a little hole carved out of the other piece.
Yep.
You put a little metal thing in and you turn it with a screwdriver and it clamps it into place with like a force that cannot be broken. If you were to you would have to break the piece of furniture.
Piece of wood.
Yeah. It is incredible.
Agree. We can remain friends. That is the best, I think, factually.
Really? You got it? I got this. You got it right. The same.
You got it right. It's the same
favorite piece.
It's just so gratifying.
It's so good.
You do all this work. You build, and then you're like, how the hell am I going to attach this to this other thing at a right angle? And the Swedish engineers, out of nowhere, they come up with this great metal ring and screw thing. Listeners, I know you know what I'm talking about. I know it's your favorite too.
I know.
Reach out.
And you're kind of changing my emotional like stance on putting together IKEA furniture with this one piece, because I hate the process overall, but within that thing I hate, this might be how I feel about IKEA in general. This might be like just the way it works for me, but in this massive thing that I hate that I can't escape, there is that little moment of pleasure where you get to turn the thing, and it happens like 10 to 20, 30 times per major assembly, and it's exciting.
I can recall finishing the last drawer in my dresser and being just a little bit sad that I didn't have any more of those to turn, because the part of putting the little, I guess it's a metal dowel of sorts into the metal ring and just cranking that screw, that's the most satisfying part, is when it locks.
Yes.
So you turn it in quarter turn, it locks in there, and I remember just feeling a little bit deflated when I had turned the last one.
Yeah.
There's something, it appeals to a very base need of mine to solve problems and have like some sort of tactile gratification for it.
Right. I could see that. I could see you liking that. Another thing that I can see you liking that's totally related is the IKEA hacks.
IKEA hacks. I've heard of IKEA hacks, but I've not gone down this rabbit hole.
You've never done it?
No.
Okay. I've also never done it.
Okay.
But I was doing some research about IKEA hacks, and I was thinking I would come up with like Ryan's top 3 IKEA hacks.
Okay. Did you finish that research?
However, I don't have a top 3 list of IKEA hacks because they're all pretty lame.
Right.
Like they're just useful enough, but not interesting to talk about.
Okay.
But the idea is more interesting than the reality.
Definitely. Yeah, the concept of fusing two IKEA inventions, overcoming the genius of the Swedish engineer to create something more than.
Or maybe they considered that IKEA hacks would happen when they were like designing the furniture.
The IKEA conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, there is one.
There is.
There is a conspiracy.
Tell me more.
So IKEA is an acronym.
Wow.
For Ingvar Kamprad Elmtarid Agunarid.
Nice job.
The first two is just the name of the founder.
Okay.
The E is the name of a farm that he lived on. And the A is the name of a village that farm was in.
Okay.
The conspiracy comes in when, from age 16 to 19, Ingvar Kamprad was a member of the new Swedish movement.
Okay.
And he wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to give them, however much money a month. He was recruiting people.
Okay.
He was like an active member of a fascist Swedish political party from age 16 to 19. He stopped at 19, but remained friends with the party's leader for the rest of his life.
Does you doing this research color your idea of why you think that IKEA looks like fascist furniture? Did you think that before you researched this?
I did think that before I researched this, but this definitely helped.
We are technically supporting a fascist party?
We don't know.
Or is he no longer alive?
No. He's alive, but he's not affiliated officially with the fascist party anymore.
Okay.
He has not renounced his previous beliefs. He's just stopped being involved and remained friends with the party leader.
Huh.
Also, just more facts about him, because I found him pretty interesting.
This is very interesting.
So he has 2 sons and an adopted daughter.
Okay. Sounds like a normal family.
He has set up some sort of trust where his 2 sons get the Icono Group, which is the owning partner of IKEA and other companies.
Do they have other holdings that we know about? Are there other?
Not that I know about.
Okay.
Not specifically, but they do.
Yeah.
So the 2 sons they inherit the business.
Okay.
And in the same trust, the adopted daughter gets roughly $300,000.
Well, that sounds a little shitty.
That's bullshit.
Do you think it's because she's a woman or because she's adopted or both?
I don't know. Whatever it is, just like that fact makes me feel like he's even not more suspect than being a fascist. It's just another smaller nail in the coffin of Ingvar Kamprad to me.
Wow. That's a lot to process right now. I'm feeling slightly different about IKEA as an entity right now. And it's not even, I know it's like weird, it's not even the fascist leaning, it's that weird trust inheritance thing that's kind of bugging me out a little bit.
That too. They're both messed up.
That's not a belief that I hold, that I would give my sons more than my daughter if that were something to happen.
I mean, there could be. So let's zoom out here.
Okay.
Because we're making a lot of assumptions.
All right.
And the series in which I gave you that information probably colored your interpretation of it. And maybe she's just an asshole.
She could be an asshole. You're right.
Maybe she's just a jerk, or maybe they just don't get along, or maybe, I don't know. There's interpersonal stuff that could happen there, right?
That's true. But it seems odd that it's not, like 40-40-20.
Yeah.
Even if there is some, it's not even that. It's like 50. It's like 49.99, 49.99.01.
It's sad.
Like, they make more money in selling that. What, they sell 1 point something million of that one chair.
1.5 million.
They make more money, probably net income, from just that one product in a year than she is getting as her entire inheritance from her family.
Without question.
Maybe she doesn't want it. Maybe she asked for just a little bit to help her kids go to college, or what. I mean, we're making a lot of assumptions here, but that's a very interesting IKEA conspiracy you got there.
I know. It's bizarre.
I can't stop thinking about either somebody or even myself or you, Ryan, dressed up as a Minotaur in the IKEA hallway.
We're gonna have to do it.
I think we're gonna have to go there.
What sound does a Minotaur make?
It's half bull, half human.
Yeah.
Does it talk or does it moo?
Both.
I think. But you know those trap doors? You know how they have like the maze that you're supposed to go through, and then in the walls they have the employee only doors?
They're not trapdoors. I love that though.
Well,
Yeah, the trapdoors.
so my
I know
goal
the-
would be I would hide. So a door opens, right? And there's the part of the door that opens, so it creates like an angle with the wall behind it. And then there's the part where it opens wide, like you step through the door and immediately you can see the room, right?
Yes.
There's a obscured side and then there's a clear side looking into a new room.
Yeah.
I would want to hide on the other side of the trapdoor wall, on the visible side, but one step back.
You would want to hide
As,
there?
as the Minotaur.
Okay.
And then as people who think that they're slick using the cut-through doors, because not a lot of people use them. So,
No.
I use them all the time because I've gone to IKEA enough that I kind of know the universal layout and I know which doors to go through.
Yeah.
But I think the Minotaur should theoretically hide one step behind the opening side of the door. And not even do much, but just step out and just, look at it.
So you're not looking to jump out. When
No,
you say
I'm not.
hide, you're not looking to like somebody tries to use the trap door and you jump out and you're like, fuck you.
No, I just want to be the very out of place
Okay.
Minotaur mask and just see if anyone gets it.
Here's the real question. If you're dressed up as a Minotaur, how would you hide in order to stay in IKEA overnight? If you were in the Minotaur costume, how do you do it?
Would that really change where I could go?
I imagine it's big. If we were to have a minute, you're not just gonna like have a onesie.
I'm envisioning this as me wearing
You have to have
mostly
horns and shit.
normal clothes.
Okay.
Like wearing like a brown hoodie and some like pants.
Oh, I was
But then getting
thinking-
one of those, the unicorn or like the horse face masks, the big rubber, super realistic masks.
Yeah,
I bet they
the
have
rubber
a bull
ones. That's gonna be
mask
hot
like
sweater.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
And just wear that rubber mask around. All right, we're gonna double down on this right now. How about the next round of IKEA or Sigur Rós song? Mm-hmm. The loser dresses as the Minotaur when we take our podcast on the road to IKEA.
The loser. Okay, and then we define dressing as a Minotaur basically as putting on a mask and clothes.
And clothes.
And just different clothes.
Yep.
All right.
Minotaur-esque clothes.
That's
we'll
lower
do some
stakes.
research.
Right.
We'll watch Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
We'll just evaluate what needs to happen.
Okay, so round 2.
All right.
IKEA furniture or Sigur Rós song. GLOSOLI.
Glolo? Glolosi?
GLOSOLI.
S-O. That is going to be a Sigur Rós song.
Okay.
I have no idea. I'm just extremely ignorant when it comes to the difference between what are the two languages? Swedish and Icelandic? Is that where Sigur Rós is from?
Yes.
Is Icelandic a spoken language?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm throwing something new into this round.
Okay.
One of these is going to be neither
Okay.
a Sigur Rós song nor an IKEA furniture item. In fact, it is going to be the last name of a member of ABBA.
Okay. So I have a third choice. That is that's the holy grail though. If I can pick that one out of the list, then
Yeah.
we're all good. And ABBA is Swedish, right?
Yes.
So it's going to all right. Okay.
And
I've got
and
this.
Glosoli was not one of those. Glosoli, you got wrong. That was a
got wrong.
Sigur Rós song. Oh no, you got right.
I got right.
You got right.
Great.
That was a Sigur Rós song.
1 point. I'm almost there.
This is a long one. KONSTNARLIG.
Konstaralig?
KONSTNARLIG.
Konstaralig? Something. That's a very long one. I can't keep all those syllables straight in my head. That I'm gonna go.
Remember, you have 3 choices.
I
now.
do have 3 choices, and I think you forgot to mention the possibility of ABBA for the first question, and I wonder if you're trying to cover your ass by telling me because then this one is the ABBA one. But then the other side of me wants to think that maybe you're trying to trick me by doing that intentionally, meaning that this is not the ABBA one. So I don't think this is the ABBA one. I think that this is a Sigur Rós song because it is so long, and IKEA tends to have some pretty concise names for their furniture.
Okay, you are wrong.
Is that ABBA?
That is an IKEA furniture item.
Okay. Do you know what kind of furniture that is?
I honestly did not write down what the furniture. Some of these are like lines. So like there's like the Snarlig couch and the table, and like some of these are lines of furniture.
Just
some
like
of them are single items.
Just like the hems that I have in my entire house.
Yeah, I also have the hems.
Yeah, my house is designed by hems.
Yep.
Let's go. So I am 1 for 2 right now.
You have 3 left. Lynggstad.
Lyngstad. That sounds like the Stad sounds like it's a last name. That's the ABBA guy. Or ABBA girl.
You got it.
I got it.
That's the ABBA.
Yes.
Damn, that should have been worth more points, but it's not.
I picked that one out. Well, I have also you had said I only have 2 left, so it was 50-50 as to which
3.
one was. Oh. Then I'm just amazing, man.
Yeah.
That should be worth more points.
Whatever part of your mind told you that you only had 2 left that made you decide that, you should trust that instinct.
Trust that instinct. Okay, we're going to get the next
2 more.
Here we go.
Samskeyty.
Samskeyty. Yeti reminds me of snow. Reminds me of Iceland, despite the fact that Iceland is the green one of the lands. That's a Sigur Rós song.
That's true. It is a Sigur Rós song. Nice. I like your thinking on that.
At some point when you really don't know the answer, you got to trust some part of your brain that is really good at coin tosses.
We're not doing 6 and 6. We're doing an odd number because then you can actually win.
Right.
Lightning round. This is the deciding answer.
Okay.
If you get this right, I cannot believe that this worked out this way.
Okay.
But if you get this right,
wow, really?
then you win the meatballs.
Okay.
And if you get this wrong, then you do not win the meatballs.
Wow. This is some suspenseful podcasting right here. Okay.
IKEA furniture or a Sigur Rós song?
And ABBA is out of the picture at this
You
point.
got ABBA correct.
Okay, ABBA's gone.
RODBINKA.
Rodbinka. That sounds more German than any of the other things that I've heard, so I'm going to pick the place that is closer to Germany, which is Sweden, and I'm going to say IKEA furniture. Final answer. That's my final answer.
You win the meatballs.
I win the meatballs!
You win the meatballs.
Yes, how many come in a bag? How many weeks am I going to get Swedish meatballs for dinner?
It's not that many, to be honest.
Thank you for setting that game up for me and putting me in a position where I now have more meatballs than I did before.
You don't have them yet. You're going to have them someday.
One day, when I need to go to IKEA, I'm going to remember I need to grab you a bag of meatballs. Well, all right.
Yep.
Well, I think that might be all I have about IKEA. Yeah, have you ever walked around IKEA backwards? Like, go against the flow of traffic?
I have not.
Yeah,
I have never
foolish.
gone backwards.
It was a bad experience. It was foolish.
You entered through the warehouse?
No, you enter through. You have to always go up the escalator to get up. So I just went up to the second floor and I went right to the meatballs and I ate. When I was done eating, I just continued walking the way that the arrows were not telling me to.
No, I go exactly the way that they tell me to because I think it sets up the optimal experience where you go through all the sort of rooms that are set up for you, the showroom.
Okay.
Go through the showroom, you get your food, and then you're ready for the marketplace. Because the marketplace is crazy.
Very crazy.
Marketplace is a free-for-all. You know, people are like fighting over items. People are getting stabbed. No joke. Actually, I was reading in the background research, there was a stabbing in the IKEA kitchen section of the marketplace.
An IKEA knife?
Using an IKEA knife. That happened. Like, the marketplace is crazy. Don't bring your kids.
Don't bring your kids to the marketplace. I have never felt unsafe in the IKEA marketplace.
Okay.
The only way that I feel unsafe in the IKEA marketplace is like maybe not having enough money left in my bank account when I leave the IKEA marketplace.
Yes, that is a serious problem.
To support and sustain my existence in the real world. I will buy something without fail every time I go there. Usually it's like a power strip or like cord management stuff. They have those
Yeah,
tubes.
yeah. Those organization tubes.
I do like their plants though.
Yeah.
They have 2 or 3 varieties of plants, all of which are, I believe, the kind of plants that do a very good job at cleaning air
Okay.
in small spaces.
I don't know anything
It's
about
good for apartments. That's usually the last thing you see
Uh-huh.
when you go through there.
Yep.
Yeah, the marketplace.
They have
I
good
like the
fake
marketplace.
plants too. I actually bought one of their fake plants at one
Really?
point just because I was like, I need some like green. I just need like green in my apartment.
Yeah,
And because it makes you feel great. You wake up in the morning, there's something green in your apartment.
you don't have to
And
take care of it.
you know what? I don't care that it's fake.
No, that doesn't bother me really.
This is how IKEA takes over your life. You start not minding the fake plant.
That seems like it's symbolic for a larger acquiescence of
They're breaking me down,
mindset.
Will.
Exactly.
Over time.
Well, it sounds
I'm
like-
losing myself.
It sounds like you have a healthy, you're woke to all this. I
No.
feel like I'm in the shadows here where I'm being turned into an IKEA fascist without even noticing.
I mean, I'm
It's
aware,
happening
but
to
it's not changing the behavior. Like, this is like classic, addictive personality 101.
Yeah, dude, you drank the
of it?
Lingonberry Kool-Aid.
I did. I ate the lingonberry sauce. I put the lingonberry sauce on my goddamn meatballs,
They
and
got
it was
you.
beautiful.
At the end of this podcast, I'm starting to resent IKEA a little bit for the amount of control they have over me.
It's changed.
At first, I thought it was convenience, and now I feel stuck in the rut of IKEA.
What do we do? How do we break this?
Break out?
How do we break this?
So first, we need a team of engineers
Uh-huh.
to create flat pack furniture
Yep.
that has a slightly non-fascist lilt to it. I don't know.
How do we do that? What does non-fascist, mass market, replicable, easily assembled furniture look like?
I posed that question to you because you were the one who identified it as fascist to begin with. I did not have that feeling about the furniture. No, I don't think I even still feel that way about the furniture. So what does non-fascist?
I don't know. I feel like the
furniture
furniture should involve more textile. There should be more like patterning. There should be more like some type of styling that makes the piece of furniture itself unique. And you can totally automate that.
Did you ever see? Yeah, I'm thinking about couches from like the older generation, from the greatest generation, the baby boomers. I'm
You
thinking about
bastards.
they all have textile or they all have like print couches. They never had a solid color.
No.
There were always a design or some sort of like, whether it be like an ornate like sort of Persian rug style
Yep.
thing or
I love the Persian rug style.
yeah, me too.
It's great.
Yeah, but they don't sell anything like that at IKEA.
They do.
They do.
I bought their fake Persian rug before.
Okay.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
I know. I know.
So I'm going to press you on this. What else does a non-fascist furniture op look like? Can you have flat pack mass scale furniture without it seeming a bit step by step and hardcore?
This is the problem. This is like why I'm insecure when I say that I believe, like when I feel a little bit less confident about when I'm saying that IKEA is fascist. It's like so now that we're trying to define where the threshold of like my perception of fascist furniture is like drawn, like where is that line? I'm not sure that there is one. I don't think it's the furniture itself. I think it's the mechanism. I think it's the 1% of the planet's lumber. I think it's the 530 million cubic feet of wood per year. I think it's the warehouse.
Yeah.
I think it's Ingvar Kamprad or whatever his name is. I think it's, I don't know, everything but the food.
Yeah, no, I can see what you're saying, but I think there might be a case to be made that certain industries should feel a little bit fascist. Okay. I feel like that, I don't think that necessarily, promotes the Swedish fascist party, but I think just the mindset behind everything having its place, everything being put together with a few tools and, able to be shipped. It really just, moving away from the word fascist, just seems like an efficient business model.
It is efficient. It's super successful, right?
Right.
And they've kept costs down to the consumer.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
And I would imagine they're expanding. All right, Ryan. So we got to get back to the question. When all is said and done, IKEA, yes or no?
I'm going to say yes.
Yes to IKEA.
I'm going to say yes to IKEA. It's broken me. And I have to say, if I were to hide somewhere in IKEA to try and stay overnight, I've been thinking about it. I haven't forgotten. I would probably go under a bed.
All right, listeners, you heard it here. While Ryan hides under the IKEA bed, I'm going to wrap this one up. Keep an eye out for our future podcast where we dress as Minotaur, go on site at IKEA, maybe get some interviews, maybe get some meatballs. On behalf of the Walnut Desk podcast, thanks for listening.